It's Simon Hobbs here, What we're going to do today is we're going to install Drupal locally and we're going to run some core tests. So I'm logging into Drupal.org here. I assume that you have a user. You can see here that I'm going to go to the Drupal project page by typing it into the URL at /project/Drupal. And then through this, I'm then going to click on the link that takes me over to GitLab. Because if I want to go into my profile, and I'm going to find the SSH settings under my preferences, and now I can add a key. Okay, I find the link that tells me how to create a key. There it is, copy paste that onto the terminal. Now this is a fresh brand new Mac. There's nothing else installed on it except for a text editor and screen recording. There, I've created my key. I'm going to cap the public key and copy that. Add the key. Sweet. Now, how do I clone Drupal? I can't remember. I'll clear the screen. And I'll go into my downloads folder. Now, I hit the back button a few times and that'll take me back to the Drupal project page on GitLab. And if I drop down that little box there, I copy the git clone URL. And I forget to type git clone, but now I remember, and so I do it again. And now I have to allow the terminal to write to that downloads folder, so I say yes to that. Okay, so after a while we've cloned the Drupal project into our local downloads folder, into a folder called Drupal, and now I'm Googling for Homebrew, and I'm going to copy that how to install Homebrew link from the Homebrew page, and I'm going to paste that into my terminal. One thing we don't see here is the Xcode tools download. I had already installed Homebrew previously when I was setting up this video. Even though it's a new Mac, we didn't see the download in this video, in this part of the video. So once that's installed, we can now install OrbStack and ddev. Now OrbStack is basically a replacement for Docker Desktop, functionally equivalent, got a nice little user interface, and ddev is a local development environment for Drupal. And basically, and I've cut about 30 seconds out of this download. Okay, so that's done. Now we're going to start OrbStack, which is just an application in the applications folder, and it gives you a little UI and a little message that it is started. And our next step is to go into that Drupal directory and run this ddev config auto command. And what that does is detects that it's a Drupal site and basically configures it in such a way that it can effectively run that site. So ddev has SSH agent, it has a router for domains, anything you need for local development. Wow, I shut up for a few seconds there. Now we're going over to GitHub. We're going to jump to Justafish, GitHub, ddev, and we have this add-on. And we're not running exactly the commands that it suggests here. We've sort of already run a few of them. So we're going to do a couple of things. Firstly, we're going to run this ddev composer install. And that's basically, we haven't got Composer on the host machine here. ddev has Composer in the web image, in the web container, so we can let ddev do the work there. And then the second thing we do is run this command. Now this command is basically setting up the add-on and pulling down what it needs and configuring what it needs. And at the moment that command fails, as you can see there. And it fails because Drupal core recently has updated to Yarn 4, and so this tool's just a little bit behind. So I'm running these two commands, Corepack enable and yarn set version stable. You shouldn't need to do this, probably in a couple of days that won't be necessary, but for the moment we need to do that in order to run this command. And so now we've rerun the add-on command, and now that's going to pull down a bunch of stuff, and most importantly, it gives us extra commands. It gives us 3 extra commands. One of those commands is ddev Drupal, which is sort of like Drush Lite. The second command is ddev PHP unit, and then the third is ddev Nightwatch. So with this first command, ddev Drupal, we can do things like install Drupal. We can log in. If you do ddev Drupal list, you get a list of commands that you can run. Now we've used it, we've installed Drupal, fantastic. Now we can log in. So we've got a link there. Copy the link into the browser, and then we see a really sexy minimal Drupal installation. Okay, so that's Drupal. Now how do we run a test? We can run tests simply by passing a path to where the tests live. So we do ddev PHP unit, which is the command that the Justafish add-on provides, and then we just simply put in the path to the test we want to run. So we're working on an issue from the comment module, and so obviously we're going to run tests in the comment module folder. In this case, we're just going to run 3 tests that live that are in that unit entity folder, and then this is me trying to put an emoji into the terminal and run it. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I really appreciate you coming in and staying to the end. Thank you. Bye bye.